couple of and a couple of selling tips on the products. So, having said that, thank you very much. I'd like to start by saying that Kama Sutra is the oldest company in the industry. We were founded way back in 1969, and I always like to show a picture of our first trade show way back there in 1969. So a very auspicious year. So we've been around more than 57 years selling fun stuff to help people have fun. Used to be more romance, but I guess now with changes with post-pandemic, it's more about like passion and hookups. So as the world changes, so does Kama Sutra, but we're still around and we must be doing something good. Not only are we also an American company, but we are also run and inspired by women. So, and like I tell you, we've been around for a couple of years, so we must be doing something correctly. So I'm going to take, I'd like to begin with two of the products that just need a little bit more of explanation, but which are also good sellers, both for Valentine's and on Valentine's. It's the oil of love. Oil of Love was the first product that we launched, and it's a warming, kissable foreplay liquid. Unfortunately, this is not it is not a lubricant. I have to say it's not a massage oil and not a lubricant. The only reason we kept the name Oil of Love was because this was the name that we were known 57 years ago. So the branding is really powerful. So, but it is a water-based formula. So how does it work? Well, this you apply in erogenous zones. Erogenous zones are places like, neck, nipples, and other parts of the body that when you blow, touch, or stimulate, they make you feel good. And in some cases might make people a little bit more horny or happy to have fun. So that's where you apply it. And it comes with a bottle. It includes a dropper. And the way to demo it, you would put one drop on the hand, then make like the circle the size of a quarter, and it'll start warming. Then you go, not like you're dying, it gets really warm, and it's settable. I wish that you could be here to try it because they're really, 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 really good. So again, this box contains the dropper. It also has a little mini brochure that shows you how to combine the different flavors to create your own flavors and also where to put it on. And it's got information in English, Spanish, French, and German in case you're located in an area with tourists or people speaking those languages. So again, the Oil of Love is also available in a display that is very useful for retail stores or also for home party presentations, because the display shows you what it does. It has here in the strip what each how to use the product and what are the benefits, and it also includes the testers already. So this is also a nice way to decorate when you're stored the section or if you're presenting in a party, and people can see and try them out, and it's very interactive with a display. What's really the easiest way to sell Oil of Love is for oral sex. And what I've noticed is that one thing that might come to a shock to a lot of people, let's just say that about 30% of people do not like to give oral sex. So by having a product like the Oil of Love, it'll make it taste really good and very happy. And depending also, when you're in a party or in a presentation or at the retail store level, if there's a group of women there, one can assume that at least a third of them will not like to give oral sex. So if it's only women, a nice way that I've found that I sell it very easily, I act a little bit conspirational. I'll be like, oh, this is great for oral sex, but it makes guys orgasm quicker. Immediately, there'll be a group of women consumers there who'll say, give me 20 of those. So you see, like that's how you would throw it out there, going like, hey, not throwing out there like if you hate it, but hey, you can make that person orgasm quicker. On the other hand, if it's only men, the men are always like, oh, you go like, hey, you know how like they don't want to give you oral sex, and they'll be like, yeah, no, they don't, they never like it. If you tell them that this is so tasty, almost like Jolly Ranchers, and that people will go to town, they'll be like, you know. Also, another thing that I've observed is that, and again, I'm sorry that I'm gendering, but it's my experience with some of the customers I've talked to. I've also noticed that women tend to be very specific at what they like. They'll say like, I like, raspberry, and that's all I want. I've noticed that male consumers might be wishy-washy, and they're like, I don't know, should I get strawberry? Should I get like vanilla? And I'm like, hey, if you take both of them, you have a better chance of increasing your chances of having sex. And they'll be like, give me two. So that would be an option. And in the case that maybe you have mixed company or there's a couple, obviously a couple, hey, I'm here with my wife or my partner, whatever. What I usually do is I'll grab one flavor and put it on one person's hand, grab another one on the opposite person's hand, and have them rub it and lick it from each other. Because that way they can have a fun thing. So again, this might be somebody's a great toy for a beginner. This might be the first introduction to a sex product, or for experienced people, it can just add a little bit of fun. And also, what I forgot to tell you is that it's really important because there was two main factors, and you will see that in the presentation. I'll be mentioning couples or self-play. But post-pandemic, two things happened. One, people who were partner were very bored and were looking for things to spice it up, and that's why we have this rise of all these products for oral sex and flavors to get out of the routine and make it a lot of fun. But then we have this other group of people that might not be on partner, and then that's the demand for products for self-care, for yourself, for loving your own body and all that. So as you see, we'll be talking about products that are good for self-care or for couples. So we talked for the first one, so it was the oil of love. So again, we have it in individual bottles. I recommend that display for a store, for a party, because it's easier to show around. Oil of love for Valentine's also might be interesting for the onliners. We also have it in this collection set. So this collection set contains the 6 oils of love, contains the brochure that I tell you, and inside you can see it has the 6 oils of love, different flavors so they can mix in a convenient little box that they can use to store their products. Really nice, keepsake, fun stuff. So this could be also a good one for online, or right now that's Valentine's, if you want the 6 flavors in one shot. Another product that we're going to talk about, which had been absent from the market but has made a comeback, is the honey dust. The honey dust powder is a powder that's made with cornstarch and honey. So it kind of works like a talc, but it's really important. Please note, do not say it's a talc. This is not talcum. Remember that talcum causes cancer and Johnson & Johnson is getting sued? So I don't need to get sued, okay? So you have to tell people it works like a talc, but it's not a talc. So this, we have a presentation of 1 ounce, and we have a 6 ounce presentations. Both of them include a fun feather for application on and all that. So, and the easiest way, you can sell the honey dust for both couples or for self-care. For couples, well, you would have the little feather and you would dust on the person and lick. So it'll make you taste good, and the feather tickles and feels in the erogenous zone, so it might get you in the mood and all that. So that's really fun to use, and that would be the couples play. But more importantly, this dust is amazing because it wicks away body moisture. You apply it on top of your body, all around your body, and even if you're working in a day or you're sweating, this will prevent you from getting, sweat breath or any other parts, or, chafing and all that. But not only that, it'll leave your body tasting good, so that if you have fun and take your clothes off and somebody licks you, you taste great. So one way to show people that this is a really, really, really fun product, this is my little magic trick. So I get a glass of water, plain water, nothing crazy. And then put a little bit of honey dust on top of it. So I put a layer of honey dust. Whoa, here's a little dust flying. And to show you how well it wicks moisture, I'm going to stick my finger in. So look, I don't know if you can see, my finger's super dry. And I stuck it in, and it comes out completely powder. You see? Again, this is watering finger, and completely powdered. And it's edible. So this shows that it will definitely get rid of breast sweat or chafing. I've also been used, if you can use it on the male parts. Yeah, you can use it on the testicles. You want them to taste like pina colada or something, you know? But anyways, again, these ones are available in a 1 ounce presentation and a 6 ounce. And again, an important selling tip right now in Valentine's is that this 1 ounce is a small little size. So whenever you're selling any lingerie, any dancer shoes, maybe latex products where they have to get into like the latex clothing, just upsell them to the 1 ounce honey dust. You know, so because that way it's a great upsell, and you know they'll taste great under their lingerie. They won't have sweaty feet if they have dancer shoes, and you know it'll keep everything dry and fun. And lastly, you can use a small amount of it for also daily care for your hair as a dry shampoo, or you can sprinkle a little bit on your sheets to keep them fresh after a fun love session. So as you can say, you can have it again. It can either be couples play, applied on the feather and lick at the moment, or you can use it for your personal self-care and use it before you go out every day, knowing that you'll stay dry. Okay, so those are the two big products that were very famous. Oil of Love, which seems to be more couples, and then honey dust that can be self-care, solo, or also for couples. So next in our line of products, I would like to talk. Okay, one thing also that we've noticed, another thing that happened post-pandemic. So we had the rise of the products for self-care, and we had the rise of products, you know, for variety and tastes for the couples. Well, we also had the rise of the consumer who does not read. People don't read anymore. And it's really hard, you know, to try to explain something because they don't want to read anything. So, having said that, we've had to implement a couple of changes to try to change that with our new consumers. So, the first product that we've had a change is our new line of products called Divine Nectars. The Divine Nectars are flavored glides and flavor massage lotions. It's important to include both descriptions because people always like a deal. So if you can tell them that this can be used as a sex lubricant, but can also be used as a flavored body massage, people are more likely to buy it. And an important thing that we did is we kept it very simple in 3 words: rub, lick, and glide. You know exactly what it does. As you can see, it'll stand out even if it's merchandise by itself or merchandise together. But again, in 3 clear words, it says what it is. It also has an icon here showing the fruit, so that people, and they're also color coded so that people can associate it. So for that consumer that does not read or you want to hand it out, we have these new packaging of these flavored lubricants, and with 3 words: rub, lick, and glide. I wish that you could see them. We have them in a 5 ounce presentation, and we also have them in a 2 ounce presentation with a display. Again, I would recommend the displays for retail or also for home party because it's easier for you to show around. It has with the flavors, and behind them we have cheat sheets with information that you can read and all that. Or you know, you're handing like the display and people are passing around, they can read it, so it can help with like shy customers if you have high turnover, employee turnover, or if you have a big party to keep everyone engaged and distracted. Another fun thing about any of these displays is that that's how the product comes. The product comes here packaged, you see, and then what you have to do, it's got some tear here that you would tear off. then you would just have to assemble, and then you would have your display. So as you can see, the way it ships becomes your display to show around. So this is the Divine Nectar. So again, water-based. It's almost got the consistency of vaginal fluids, long-lasting and flavored, lubricant and flavored massage oil. Now that we talked a little bit about lubricants, I want to talk about two ones that we have. So we have the Love Oil. So the Love Oil is one of our classic water-based lubricants. Again, these are very, very long-lasting. They almost feel like they're silicone, but they're 100% water-based. This one has a convenient flip top cap, so you can handle it with one hand. And, you know, if you just demo one little drop, I mean, basically, I just touched it. I swear, when you have a foil sample you try, you'll see that this will last for ages. If you just have somebody, I swear, in the party of the store going like this, in the next 10, 15 minutes, it'll still be going. I also recommend that this, since it's also very like liquidy and all that, it's also very good for toys. And I also highly recommend it also for, you know, vaginal or solo play, but it's also good for anal because since it's water-based, it has the power of the silicone without having to clean it up. So I really recommend the Love Liquid. And the reason that I mentioned the Love Liquid and the Divine Nectars is because now we're going to be talking about another product that we changed, which is ideal now for Valentine's. The Weekender Vibe Kits. Again, these are individually available by individual flavor, but I highly recommend the display because again, the display in the base, you can't see here, has all the information of what each product does and how to use. It tells you again here what it has. So again, it's a useful, especially for those stores that have a lot of employee turnover or also for a party where you can be showing around. And the Weekender Vibe Kits contain a little bit of everything of our best sellers. So here's a reveal. I just grabbed the Weekender Vibe Kit Mango. This one, the reveal, has this little brochure and it has a baby oil of love, like the warming liquid that we talked and I showed you around first. It contains a 10-speed silicone reusable vibrator and a battery included, AAA. Why? Because since everything is already freakishly rechargeable, what happens when it's not charged? What happens if you want to use this right outside the parking lot of the store or right after your home party, you know, in your car? Well, with a AAA battery, you can use it simple. It's a 10-speed, you know, waterproof, water-resistant battery, and it comes in different pastel colors depending on the flavor. We have yellow, light pink, orange, black, and purple. So mini vibes. And there's still more. It includes also 2 foils of the Divine Nectars, again, for flavored massage or for, you know, for sex. It has 2 of the Love Liquid, the unflavored water-based lubricant that I just showed you that feels like silicone, but it's water-based, easy cleanup. And 3 cards, 3 position cards with Kama Sutra positions of how to use for inspiration and all that, all in a reusable tin that is ready for storage to use and ready for a gift. So again, these Weekender kits are a very good add-on. You know, even if they bought a little bit of, you know, if they bought a lingerie or a big toy, this has a little bit of everything. It's got like, you know, massage, lubricant, a little vibe. So it's like a little helper. And this can be an add-on to a purchase, or it can be for a weekend play for you. And again, what's different is we have here exactly, it says what it is from big letters. It has the color, it has the fruit, it has the vibrator printed to size here. So there's no surprises on the size of the vibrator. So again, everything visually so that in 2 seconds, the consumer makes that decision. because they're just glancing. So that is in terms of the weakener by kit. So those are so some easy ones for Valentine's. But what other products do we have that can be gifted to him or her? We do have our arousal gels. The arousal gels, we have two versions: arousal warming and arousal cooling. These are the arousal warming warms up because it has a little bit of cinnamon. So that's what gives it its warming. It's got a very light, subtle smell. And then we have the cooling, which has a little bit of menthol, and that's what gives it the tingling cooling effect. These two are for beginners. They are not very strong. And the advantage of it is that you can apply a little bit, and then depending on your comfort level, then you apply a little bit more. So it'll never go from 0 to 1,000. Because remember, when you're starting, and this is the first time you're using, and it's very sensitive down there, but little by little is better than a big whammy. So again, these are very, very subtle. This is a great beginner's, stimulant for someone who has never tried anything. And they come in these convenient, travel-sized pump tops that are very easy to conceal. You can carry it and you're ready, like, excuse me, and you're ready to go for it. And also because also another thing that I've noticed among a lot of our male consumers, we tend to waste and squeeze, whereas our female consumers tend to be more careful, and just one little pump is enough that you need. So you won't be wasting a lot of product, and it's airless pump. So again, for someone who's never tried it, this can be a nice compliment. Again, very discreetly packaged pump top. So water-based. I've been asked if a guy can use it. Yes, you can use them, but our skin is thick out there and you won't have the feeling. What some people can do in demos is if you grab a little drop of it and put it inside your lip, you will be able to see how gradual and the feeling of warming or the feeling of cooling. So again, any questions on that that come up? Okay.
Memo, I think there was a question about the shelf life after you've opened an oil of love.
Oh, phenomenal. You beat me to it. So the majority of the products, except for the warming, the cooling, and the lubricant, the majority of the products are good for 12 months once open. So I wasn't aware of the cosmetic symbol that people taught me, but yeah. So now in most of our packaging, you can barely see it. It's like an open tab that has a number 12 on top of it. That means that it's good for 12 months once it's open. The only ones that by law we have to give a 3-year expiration are the Love Liquid and the warmings, and that is clearly indicated in their packaging. But all other items, that was a really good question. Once open, they're good for 12 months and all that. So now I wanted to go and show you a product. So just not to confuse you, and everything is because we're having different product lines. So you have the oil of love. Remember, this is the foreplay liquid that is used for oral sex and to nipples and erogenous zone. Not a lubricant, not a massage oil. So that's oil of love. Then you have Love Liquid. So yes, this one is the water-based lubricant that feels like silicone, great for anal sex, great for toys, great, easy clean up and long lasting. And then we have the third brother or sister, whoever we want to call them, the Love Oil. Love Oil. So the packaging is very different. This one has the green bottle. So the Love Oil is a coconut oil-based lubricant. And having said that, it will last a long time. But just the one thing, if you're using this as a lubricant, you just gotta remember anything that is an oil, regardless of if it's the love oil, you cannot use a latex condom because it will react to it and it will break. Polyurethane condoms are okay, or people that are not using a condom could use it, but not if you're using a latex condom. It'll last much longer than other water-based because it's an oil, and that's one of the reasons that people like to use it. But the reason why I also like this product a lot and I highly recommend it is that this product is fantastic for self-care because it is 100% organic, and it only has like 6 ingredients: coconut oil, avocado oil, and the feature product, sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn is this little cool fruit that you see here, and it has a lot of properties because it affects linoleic acid. I'm not going to give you a chemistry explanation because people are going there for fun and for sex, not for chemistry. But what I want to say is that this product is used a lot in eye cosmetics. If you look it up, see buckthorn, to reestablish elasticity in the skin. So this is a feature ingredient that helps it with vaginal dryness. And again, remember, vaginal dryness, of course, it does affect, obviously, people who have gone through menopause, but it can affect young people also. So, just by having, taking some flu medicine, some type of medications, flu, stress, a very long session, even a young person might suffer from occasional bouts of vaginal dryness. So by applying 1 or 2 drops of this coconut oil-based lubricant, it will help to alleviate the symptoms of vaginal dryness. And again, what's also different is that ours is liquidy. If you see it, it's liquidy. A lot of the competitive products, they have beeswax and they come out in bottles that look like toothpaste and they're hard. And the problem is this: when it's cold, you have to warm them. Not with this one. This one's ready to use. So, and it's 100% vegan and organic. Everything's organic in it and vegan. And immediate use. It comes out liquidy. It does have a transparent orangey color because of the sea buckthorn, but it goes away, and a very slight and subtle vanilla. But 1 or 2 drops, this is great product for vaginal, dryness. So let's just say that it's a vaginal moisturizer that can also be used for sex. So again, we have the love oil, we have it in the pump top, and we also have it with dropper, 0.5 ml. So again, depending on your clients, you can have the large size or the small bottle, but again, completely different packaging. So again, that is a product for self-care. Another product that might be interesting also, now that we're talking about self-care, might be our treasures of the sea. These are some really, really, really fun bath salts. These have magnesium, and these are salts to relax, not to get you in the mood. So this is, for me, self-care, So what's really funny about this, it has a delicious smell, ocean smell. But what sells this product, it's the seashell. People love the seashell. I feel like they feel like a great goddess by putting the seashell. But it's a very, 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 very fun product. No, you cannot make drugs with it, I asked. So no. But as you can see, this will make the water blue. You just add it with your seashell, and as you can see, obviously I'd have to mix it, and I don't have to lick my hand right now. But you see, it makes the water blue and all that. It's full of magnesium and other good herbs, so it can help with slight skin conditions like a slight eczema, and it's also child. You can use it with your kids to get them to shower if they want to fight you. But again, it makes the water a nice blue color, a lot of magnesium and salt to relax, and that would be a product for self-care. The other ones, again, we do have, just talking briefly about our massage, oils. What I gotta say this. I know that you've heard that there's like 1,500 on the market. We've been the ones who had it like for more than 57 years. So this is good stuff. And we've had to register a lot of this in the USA and Canada. And that's why we haven't changed a lot of the flavors, but you're guaranteed not to get sued or killed. But we have two lines of massage lotions, not to be confused because some other people copy our names, but the aromatics lines are the massage that bottles that come like in the yellowish bottle, and these are based on aromatherapy. Basically, you grab some plants extracts, you do some chemistry and physics to extract some of its properties, and you mix it with oil, and that's what it gives you. And that's why they're called aromatics, because of the plant extracts aromatherapy. The naturals that come in the darker green bottle, these were made with natural extract ingredients, and that's why we call them naturals. But the most important thing about my massage oils that I can tell you, they're amazing because they're an oil, but they're not oily. So what I want to say is like they're just a perfect amount for a great massage. You don't have to be reapplying 10,000 times, like this it. And it's not the other extreme where you're like, oh my God, what do I do now with all this oil in my hand? How do I have to shower? No, it gives you the perfect amount to give a whole massage without having to reapply a lot or without having to wipe your hands off later. And it won't be greasy. And also, they can also be used as a daily moisturizer. So once when you take that when you're freshly showered and you with a towel, there's those 5 seconds where you're cold but not cold. If that's when you put all that massage, it'll seal to your body, and when you're walking away, you'll smell really nice. But what's really important, let's be honest, with massage oils, the sale is 80% is that aroma. If they like the smell, you got them already. That's 80%. And then, I would say that the remaining, half is the price and half if they have allergies or not. I would say that the majority of our products contain some type of nut, even if it's not an official nut. Coconut, well, it's not a nut, but it is an oil. But, most of our products do have some coconut base or use. It's marked in the packaging, and people with not allergies and all that tend to be really good readers and ask about it. But like I say, just a warning with that, because there's an oil of something everywhere. So again, these are 2 ounce, and we have it in 8 ounce. And that was another point that I forgot to mention earlier when we started. That one of the things that we've done is that we have a lot of the products in the large sizes, but we had to go to smaller sizes because of two reasons. One, budget. Everything got so damn expensive. And then two is that even though we're made in California and we try to source as much as possible from here, from the United States, let's just say that 90% of our components are all sourced from here, probably here in the United States, but that damn 10% has to be sourced from outside. And, with the tariffs, sometimes there's problems about it. So that's why we've had to go to smaller sizes, because you might not have, the components for the bigger sizes. So that's a way to respond to the markets. So, and again, like I tell you, not to badmouth it, but, the massage lotions have been around for 57 years. And again, even though people say, whatever, that they're not too exciting, that tends to be a person's first sex toy, a little massage. Another other product. So we did talk about the oils of love. So these are the warmings. If someone wants the opposite, coolings, we have the pleasure balms. So the pleasure balms are these ones. So this is an option for people who want something that's cooling. Let's just say that this is like an Altoid fresh liquid formula. You put it on the nipples and they really stand. You can poke somebody's eye out with it, And a funny thing, if you're hungover or it's very hot, you grab a little bit of because it has menthol. You put a little bit on your neck and stand in front of the fan, and you'll feel really cool. Also great for hangovers. But again, this is the opposite of this one. So again, you have oil of love, which is a warming gel. You have pleasure balm, which is a cooling gel. So both are for fun, both for oral sex, not a lubricant, and not for internal or massage. And I will just talk about two kids and then we'll go into the pheromone line. So again, maybe right now, again, that Valentine's is coming, this could be some fun. We have the oral sex to go kits. So this is strawberry daiquiri. So this has that oil of love, great for the foreplay, and then you have the divine nectars, which is great to do fourth and fifth base. After the foreplay, it comes in a already packaged little usable zipper bag. It has a to from tag, so you have it ready. And behind it contains a QR code that takes you to recipes with alcohol for us old people, and for the young people we also have mocktails because they don't drink anymore. So then it has, so this is kind of like what it shows, where it takes you. Multi-language, and we have them in 3 fun presentations. So we got Pinas Colada, which is the coconut pineapple. We got Porn Star Martini, which is the tropical mango, and we got the strawberry daiquiri. Again, 3 ready to go kits that can be fun for this, Valentine's. As an option, I do apologize. We did talk about them, but we do have them available. We do have this display, which again might be interesting for retail stores or for some parties, online parties. We do have this performance display that has 4 of that love liquid that I talked to you about, 4 warming arousal control gels, 4 cooling, and it has 4 prolonged gels, delay spray for men. That's also available. The difference is our delay spray has 5% benzocaine. Competitive products have 10% of other stuff, but I think ours is better because by just having 5%, again, you can control how much you want to be desensitized. Because if you go straight to a 10% and that's too much, you're screwed. So you start with something that is a 5% benzocaine. That's more gradual, and if you need to put more, you put more, but it won't stay asleep for 3 years like with other products. But again, this is again a display that has 4 of that love liquid, for warming, for cooling, and 4 prolonged for men. And again, that's I don't know how to tell you. That's usually the prolonged has to be bought by the guy. Not given by somebody to the guy because they might take it wrong. So in that case, I don't know what to tell you. Unless the partner is desperate, then it's to them to buy it and gift it to them, and hello, here's your gift. But we don't want to get in trouble with that one. So okay, before we hop into the pheromones, another thing that's selling a lot that makes it really, really fun, especially right now that it's cold, is our candles, our massage candles. We're the original ones that had the pour spout and all that. We've been known, for our powerhouse candles. This is a very fun product that, worst case scenario, if they don't like it, well, you can use it to, make your room smell nice. But these are great for massage. These are made with soy, no wax, so it won't burn you. It won't reach that burning point. You light it up, put it on. It's one of the most fun products. We do have it in all the massage lotions available, in this port-tin spout. But also, we have some for consumers on a budget. We do have these little small ones. They do not have the pour spout like the other ones, but they are the massage candles. But these ones have funny sayings. This smells like we're gonna have sex. Like me if you're horny. I fucking love you. And blow me. Again, this can be like a small candle, can be an add-on, easily an add-on to a big purchase. Or like I say, like start them with the small ones and take them to the big ones. But so these are in terms of the candles. Again, we have multiple with pheromones, no pheromones, etc. But again, these are good. And right now that it's the holidays, I mean, the holidays that it's damn cold, this is when you can sell them more. So let me see. One only thing for these little candles, and especially for the retailers and the home parties, please, 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 just remind them to trim the damn wick. Trim the wick a quarter inch, and also just have them always don't leave a candle lit and leave the room. Never leave any candle unattended. I know it sounds dumb, but please do remind people that we don't want any fires, people, and Molly and I don't want to get sued, okay? So please remind them to cut that little wick. So having covered that, okay. So now I'd like to talk about our sex magnet line. So we have a sex magnet line. So basically, it's a pheromone line. As people have mentioned, it's always important to keep it simple and always to remind people. Never assume that people know. So, like, we've all heard pheromones and pheromones. And again, whenever you give an explanation, keep it simple, because if you start acting like, give them all the technical things, just remember, people not interested. They're there for sex. They're there for school, and you don't want to be the smarty pants. For that, you go to the pharmacy. So, having said that, just say that pheromones are invisible chemicals that we produce that animals use to communicate, and they might have certain reactions. And it can be as simple like, did you know that that's why ants go in one little line? Because they leave a pheromone going like, damn, there's food here, and that's why they go in a little line. So basically, all animals, us included, have pheromones. Okay. Second of all, let's just say it's also important that you manage expectations with the pheromones, because they are not love potions. Damn it! If they were love potions, our grandmothers would have married us many years ago to the wrong person. So we have to talk about, because like if you don't manage expectations, there's disappointments. And then they'll be angry at you for selling them, and then you'll be angry at Molly for setting this up, and then Molly will be angry with me. So setting up expectations. It's a cost, it's to enhance confidence. And like it's great. Like it's happened to all of us that when we wear something that we know we look good, we know we look damn good, you exude that goodness. Well, the pheromones help. They help. And then they might contribute for something, but you have to put your part too, So having said that, we came out with a roll-on. So we came out with 3 different fragrances. So we have the vanilla amber, which is usually this yellow that you can see. Then we also have the blue lotus, which will have like this purplish label on top. And then followed by leather, the brown one. Okay. Also, before I talk about this is very important that you also have to kind of see who your target audience is, because look, you have to sell to everyone. Right now, that it's really tough. You can be na. So why do I say that? Because for some people, some older consumers, just think about like maybe your grandpa or your great grandpa. In their time, everything was men or women, so they might not believe in that unisex. So if you're trying to sell them a unisex, they won't buy it from you. But then you have the other extreme, like well, now there's a lot of things that are unisex, really, and all that. But like, you can't choose who you're going to sell to, so you have to be positive about it. So, for example, I tend to say, for example, that the leather is unisex, but with masculine tones in the fragrance. So you see, in a way, I talk to the people unisex without offending them. But to the person who might not believe in unisex, but when I said, but it has masculine, tones in the fragrance, I talk to him, I'm selling to both of them. The same with the blue lotus. I'll go like, this is a unisex aroma with floral or feminine notes. And I leave it there. So then I talk again to feminine. And then for the damn vanilla amber, I just say vanilla amber is vanilla amber. Everybody likes it. I just keep it in the middle. I'm not saying but toast. So you see, you have to be careful, because in this time we're trying to make money, not offended, but try to make money and just see what your consumer responds to. So for the majority of the lines, we when we launched, so we launched first in roll-on, massage oil, and candle. So you had the three options and all that. So another thing to remember, vanilla, amber, and leather have pheromone plus fragrance. Okay, so that's a niche that you sell. Blue Lotus has pheromone, essential oil, no fragrance. So this is good for people that don't want fragrance in the product. This is it. And I make that distinction because if you by any chance are demoing the three of them, these two that have the fragrance will smell really, really strong because they have the fragrance. Whereas like 10 minutes, like in 15 minutes, if I smell these two, I smell them really strong. But in 15 minutes, I smell this very light. But it's because it only has essential oils and no fragrance. So some people might think it doesn't work. They're like, oh, this doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. It's that. No, it's because it's fragrance-free or essential oil. So depending on who you market it, you can have it. And just as a reference, the Blue Lotus is this little flower that has, aphrodisiac properties. You can drink it, apply it, smoke it, etc., because of its properties, and it comes from Egypt and from the past. So that's also, a selling point for people who have heard of it. So, oh, wow, almost forgot. Main thing, we don't use alcohol in our pheromones, period. A lot of our competitors do, so we do not. So that's a main thing. The Kama Sutra sex magnets have no alcohol. So that means that they set better to your skin, they will last way longer, and you won't find an empty bottle or it won't evaporate away. So that is the one. Alcohol, alcohol-free as compared to other people. Having said that, remember that I taught you about like that, please tell the bastards to cut the wig. Yes, remember I said that? Just in case we're starting to get prepared for people. And this is a great thing. This is a great launch right now for Valentine's. We launched the pheromone candles in mini pour spout tins. So this is another option. So you have the pheromone candles in three different types. You have the 1.7 presentation with no pour spout, but I like more the pour spout, which is like 2 ounces, and then we have the 6-ounce big candle. So you have three options. So this is one of the newest, and with the tin, if they forget to cut the wig, we should have no problem. So, and lastly, but not least, for online, and right now also for Valentine's, we also have the pheromone kits. So these kits come in that nifty reusable tin. They contain one roll-on, one 1.7 candle without the pour spout, and one massage oil in a reusable tin with a little bow and two. So we have it for both leather. We also have it for Blue Lotus and Vanilla Amber. So this is also a good thing for the Valentine's. And also remind people that the pheromones are also not only for trying to attract people. It can also be like, hey, listen, for help with retail sales. If you're caught in the middle seat of the airplane, you just put it all on there, so, to try to have people in a better mood. So they can also be used for when you're in tight situations. But one of the newest launches that we had are the body oil sprays. So we just launched these. These are body oil sprays. The majority of other sprays out there tend to be water. So this, by being oil, will last longer. It's in a convenient, pump top. And, it'll be only, 4 fluid ounces. And what I really like about them is that they are like a dry oil. They're almost like I'll put them on, basically like if I put them after I shower, by the time that I already putting the shave cream, it's already absorbed, so I can dress immediately. And again, the difference between this body spray as opposed to a massage lotion is that the formulas are different. The massage lotion is designed to be longer so that you can give a massage. The spray is designed, even though concentrate, to absorb quicker so it doesn't stain your clothing and you're ready out the door. And again, when you're putting this after your shower, while you're getting dressed, putting on your makeup, you're putting it for you. So the moment you walk out that door, it's for you. So it's self-care and self-love. This other one, you might imply that you're already with someone. So again, different products, different formulas, but it's the same function and all that. And the spray is one of the newest ones. So I know I went a little quick, but again, just it's if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Molly. One thing also that I will be working with Molly to make available is we do have product knowledge postcards, from the back that tell you things, per the product line, with tips and things that you can use. We also have many brochures, individual brochures for different products, in different languages also available. Again, I highly recommend the displays, if you can, but if not, we also have easels. Easels where you have a little triangle on the back, and you said, so we also have easels available. And we also have shelf talkers that can be used as shelf talker. You can use it as a flat table, or you can just pass them around, and they tell you what everything does. So I will be working with Molly to get some of these things, because again, an important thing both in the party or in the retail is if you can make the store experience, fun, nice, nicely merchandised, that it's attractive, that is a big defense against online sales. Because remember, if somebody goes there and they feel it's fun, there's testers, you let them on a good way, they'll come and buy from you and recommend to go buy there. And also remember, because when sex, time is essential. So I don't give a crap if they say like they deliver in 4 hours. If I'm having sex in 1 hour, I need it in 1 hour. They'll run to the store because nobody can get it to you under 1 hour. So that's a really important thing also. Also on the online side, on your descriptions, just be a little bit more descriptive about things like use the self-care or for couples and all that. Because I've also encountered many people that they're like, the sales are not that great. And then I look at their descriptions and God, they have a one sentence. I've even seen some people that even other products when I try to buy, they don't even give the size of what the product is. And then you try to look at the picture and all that. So, if you're saying like for self-care, for you, for the couples to have fun, very important. Made in the USA. I can't tell you. Please support us. There's some country we're not made in Canada. We're not made in Portugal. We're not made in Europe. And some countries have stopped buying even my products just because they're made in the United States. So by you purchasing an American product, it's getting reinvested in the United States and protecting jobs. So there's a little bit of that also there. Again, we will be having probably some new maybe launches and things a little bit towards the April, May, when we have another show and all that. But for right now, you have a lot of fun stuff from Kama Sutra. And again, like I tell you, we have everything from the newbies. And remember, a newbie can be somebody very young, or it can be somebody very old. It can be like they need to spark it up. And we also have products for the professionals and the ones who know everything. And as you can see, you will be seeing more the rise of, I think a trend you will see is we'll continue having the self-care products. And I think also the category of, especially when I was talking about the love oil, the category of vulva care is also going to be very important. And it's something that can also increase sales and all that, because if you start getting people to learn about these products, they'll be more aware about it. But Jesus, that was a little bit quick, but just wanted, if you have any questions, because I almost did it, people. I almost did it. 2:53 seconds left, because I've been yelled. I know I can talk a lot. You guys put me in a good mood. But anyways, thank you for supporting us and Kama Sutra and all that. And again, I know it's a lot and probably caught off guard, but any questions, anything that you might have, Molly's really good, and I'm really good about getting back to her. So please feel free, any questions. And remember, any comments, good or bad, are always good, because that helps us change. And you know what? It's not Memo Sutra, so I don't take it personally. So any good feedback or anything to make us better, I really appreciate it. And thank you for your time. And also thank you for Molly for organizing this and being such a good resource. She's always really well trained, people. I highly recommend her.
Thank you, Memo. Does anybody have any questions? Unmute yourself and
I have a question. Can you hear me, Molly? And
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Tashima with For Your Intimacy. I apologize if I didn't catch the presenter's name for Kama Sutra. I was doing multiple things, so I apologize. But I love the presentation. I have a question about that powder. Is it sticky? Does it have like a sticky after effect? Because I
Excellent,
noticed that some of the powders do.
excellent question. Excellent question. Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Unfortunately, since we're not live, literally, you apply it and it doesn't leave you there's no stickiness at all. At all. It almost feels like a dry powder. Yeah, but it won't get sticky. Yeah. And that's also why we usually with a feather, I know it's harder now with parties and everyone, but that's usually why. Oh, where's my feather? You didn't see that. You didn't see the in action down here. But usually that's why when there's a presentation, if people can apply with a feather, then they can feel that it won't get sticky. But thanks for asking.
okay, I think that looks like it. And anything else?
But don't worry, like since I'm with Molly, this was my first time. I was a first timer, and I started. I'll probably see you again before this year is over, and again, I know that many questions might pop up, typical Murphy's Law after we hang up. But if you have any, just have them sent to Molly, and we'll get back to you really, 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 really quick. Ooh, 1401.
Thank you.
And having said that, thank you for taking the time to learn about Kama Sutra, and wishing you a lot of sales, great sales for the Valentine's. And thank you for supporting us. We really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.